Hello and welcome to Sonyabeonit's channel. Today I'm going to show you how to achieve healthy box braids without any knot showing. There are several things that you're going to need. As you can see, the first thing I want you to do is make sure that your hair is clean. If you want to relax your hair, if it's really kinky, go ahead and relax the hair, but only leave the relaxer on the hair for 3 to 5 minutes. Rinse that out. As you can see, I've relaxed her hair. You can't really tell that the hair is relaxed, but I'm going to know it once I start doing her box braids. And what I did, I put a relaxer on her hair for 5 minutes, rinsed it out, did all the necessary steps that goes along with relaxing the hair. And then instead of using a blow dryer or a hair dryer, I allowed her hair to air dry. Now, there are several things that you're going to need. We're going to do this in a room, and I have a old sheet on the floor, and this will help for easy cleanup. Now, the things that you're going to need in order to achieve your box braids is up to you what type of hair you want to buy, but we're going to use the Simply Jumbo braid, and I purchased 1, 2, 3, probably 6 or 7 pack. We're not going to cut the hair at all. We're not going to cut the hair, and you're going to see why. There's another item that you may need, possibility. We're going to use this Smooth and Shine. We may and may not have to use this, but I may have to use some of this on her hair. Also, you want to have some clamps to secure the hair that is not being braided as of yet. You want to use these clamps. If you don't have any clamps, don't go out and buy any. Just use some bobby pins or rubber band to secure the remaining of the hair. And also, you may need a pair of shear scissors. Now, when it comes to the comb, you're going to need like a really small rat tail comb of some sort, because this will give you a very detailed line when you're doing your box braids. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Okay, here's a pack of hair that we just opened, and she's going to pass me the hair to apply it to her hair, but it comes long. A lot of people tend to cut the hair. We're not going to cut it. We're going to use the entire length of the hair, and I'm going to show you how I apply this in her head. I want to see, can I get a little bit closer without distorting the picture. Do you see? You don't see any knots in her hair. And I have taken the liberty to go ahead and do some of her ends, which we still have a long way to go. That is the length of her box braid. That is fairly long. What I have on my floor is an old sheet and an old sheet over my ottoman that sits in my room. But that is the length that she wanted to get her hair done. And this is the hair that I use. Kanelonan, I think it's pronounced. And you can buy this from your local beauty supply store. I think it's like 3 for $5. So I've already cut some of the length and dipped it. I'm going to have to dip it again once I complete the top. So this is all that I have to do right now. It's the crowning of her hair. And if you try this method, say for instance you don't even know how to plait or to do the box braids. My thing was, I looked on YouTube and saw other YouTubers doing the box braids. I can braid hair, but to do individual, I could never do that. And I just knew if they can do it, I could do it. And it's a matter of just having patience. Practice. Go by Sally's and buy you one of those mannequin heads, and you practice. You're going to get the hang of how much hair to take out, how much hair to add to the hair. But if you do it this way, your hair will grow. It will be healthy. Because if you also notice, sometimes when you're doing these box braids, if you start from the root of the hair, and you decide to put that knot at the very end, this is what brings your hair out. If that knot is sitting here on the end of your scalp, that is tension. Do you see me pulling her hair together? That is tension and weight. So normally it'll pull, either it will detach from the root of the hair, or it's going to come out a great deal once you take it down. And it's a good thing to have box braids, because it will allow your hair to breathe and to grow, but it defeats the purpose. If you're going to put this in your hair, and once you take it out and comb your hair, which we know you're going to have some shedding, but if you comb your hair, majority of your hair come out, it's growing your hair, but is also thinning it out. What's the purpose of having it? You don't want these braids to be too tight, and you do not want to leave this in your hair no longer than 30 to 40 days. That's the most, without having to get it redone, retouched up. Look at her scalp. You can't tell where I started to apply this braid or not in her hair. And look at the length. That is for some that I've already went ahead to trim the end and dip it in water. But I'm going to complete the top crown part of our hair. And I'm going to do a couple of braids on camera so you can see how I do it. And I hope you can catch on to this. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I apply the hair to her head. I went around in a straight line around the crown of her head, section it off. You're going to make your box braid whatever size you want your plait to be. Okay, that's not really too even. But if you don't want it even, that's fine. It doesn't really have to be. But it has to be right for me, so. And these are knot-free, healthy box braids, what I'm doing to her head. And if you do it this way, your hair is going to grow healthy. It's going to be long and strong. And when you put these box braids in your head, you really don't want it to last no more than 30 days. So please don't try to stretch it for 2-3 months. I mean, really. The health of your hair is more important, and I'm pretty sure you spend more than that on products. If you need to practice doing this, go to Sally's and buy you a mannequin head. Okay. That's one section. I'm going to take 3/4. One. That's my first section. I'm going to do a middle section. Now, I'm not going to apply it from the top. Watch this. Pass me some hair. I'm going to take this length of hair. We didn't cut the hair at all. It's still long hair. I'm going to take this hair and wrap it around and grab it with that index finger. So now the hair, instead of the hair sitting on top of the head, it's going to be applied from the side of the hair. Then I'm going to take my finger, grab that first thing of hair, and go around. Bring it out, come back around. She's going to pass me some more hair. So this is the next line. We're going to do the same exact thing to that. Take some hair, go around the top portion. It's going to end up on the side. It's gathered in between the side. And then we're going to twist again. She's going to pass me some more hair. And first, as I'm plaiting this, I'm going to do it from the top till I get a certain length. And once I get a certain length, I'm going to cross over and under braid or under plait while still adding hair. I'm stop here, put my finger here, separate that, grab this middle section, and now she's going to give me hair. I'm going to take the hair and fold it in half, apply it right there with my thumb, let it rest there, and I'm going to intertwine it. Now watch and see what happens. It looks like the hair is coming out of her scalp more so than that knot. It's not going to be that tight. You do not want it that tight. That would damage the hair. You do not want these braids that tight on the root of your hair because it dries your scalp out. It causes blisters and everything else. You're going to continue to add the hair for the length or the thickness of the hair of how you want it. She's not giving me that much hair, which is great. We're going to keep adding hair a couple of times. If you want to learn how to do this, go by Sally's Sally Beauty Supply Store and buy your mannequin head, and you practice till you get it. It will be a good investment in the long run. She's going to give me a little bit more hair. And remember, once we get to a certain length, we're going to do a braid from the top, then we go underhanded, and we add the hair from here to here. And it's going to blend in. And you just keep on plait, drag it, because you don't want it to tangle at the end. Just keep plaiting. You're going to get a feel for it because it took me a while to get on, to catch on to this. Look at that plait. It looks like everything is gathered together. I'm going to continue to do this all the way down. Look at that root. You can't tell where that hair starts or where it stops. You can't tell where I start applying it. And it's not that tight. You don't want it tight. And when you first start doing your box braids at the very back of your head, you want to park a thin line, and you're only going to have probably 4 or 5 plaits in the back. Then you're going to come to the next line, and you're going to do it in a zigzag way. You're going to look at the box at the bottom, and you want to do that straight line at the bottom, and then the next row you're going to put it in between. So it's going to be like a zigzag pattern that you're going to come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this braid to the length that I desire, and once I get closer to the end, you're going to keep adding hair for the thickness that you desire. And once you get towards the end, I want you to start allowing it to thin off, because once you get to the very end of the length that you want, you're going to take just one strand of that hair, and you're going to knot it so the hair is secure and it would not come loose. Because when it's all said and done, when we complete this, we're going to dip it in some hot water to relax it, and that's going to be the end of the process. But I'm going to complete her head and come back to show you the end results. I'm going to show you my technique one more time. And what you want to do is get 3 sections of the hair. Let's take this extension hair off of here. You want to get 3 sections. You got 1, your middle, 3 strand braid is what it is really. You're going to take the finger next to your index finger, place it on that first one. Take your first index finger, go through the middle of the 3 part. Remember, we're not going to put any knots on these plaits. And you can make your box whatever size you want them to be. Then you're going to take the hair, wrap it around your hand, and you're coming to that middle section. You're going to hold it in place right here. We're doing a side connection. And you see how that overlaps to make it look like it's from the side? Then you're going to gather that together, and you're going to plait. She's going to pass me some more hair. And you're going to begin to get a feel for how much hair you need to put in your head. Practice make perfect, so it may not be perfect the very first time you do this. And for extra added practice, you can go by Sally's to buy one of the mannequin heads, which is very beneficial because you can learn other styles as well. Every time she adds, I'm coming around, holding it in place. Remember, you're coming from that side. And I hope you can see a good angle on this. Now, when it comes to moisturizing your braids, any kind of braids, the best thing to use is going to be some cooking sweet almond oil. And let me show you this. I use this for cooking. I use this for just about everything to exfoliate the skin. When I take a shower, I may do it twice a week. But this is an excellent moisturizer for your scalp. Not only that, it helps to thicken and grow the hair as well. So check this out. This is the International Collection version, and I purchased this from Target. So once I finish completing all her braids and dipping her ends, because once we get to the end, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the end, because you're going to be left with some hair loose at the end. You don't need to glue it or burn the ends. I hate to see burnt ends. I'm still adding hair. Now, as you can see, you cannot tell where that started or began. Now, when I got to the top, my box got a little bit crazy because I was kind of getting tired. So, once we get to the end, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, but you're not going to see any knots in the top of her head. I'm going to continue this all the way down to the length that I desire. And once I get to the end, I'm going to show you how I'm going to knot it off or tie it off. And then we're going to finalize it by boiling some water. You're going to dip the ends of the hair. Once you tie it off at the end, you're going to dip it. It's going to become straight, and you're not going to see where you cut it off. Okay, I'm at the very end of this particular box braid. So I'm going to show you how to knot it off. You're going to you still have your 3 parts and separate in between your fingers. You're going to take a thin part of it, very thin. You're going to hold your thumb here, wrap it around your thumb, go over the hair, take that index finger from the top, and I want you to push it through. Let's see, can I get it? There it is. You're going to bring it through. Hold that index finger there. Okay, that looks a little bit messy. Let me see, can I do this again? Because this is not right. I know what I'm doing, believe it. Okay, in order to knot this, I'm at the very end where I want it to stop. You're going to take one of your 3 parts, and it's best to have a thin piece of it. Don't use all of it. Just take from one thin. You have 3 individual pieces. You have your middle, your side, and your other side. Take a small piece, wrap that around your thumb, the braid itself. Take your index finger, bring it through. When you bring it through, I want you to go ahead and hold that hair right there and squeeze it down. And that's how you're going to knot it. Now where you're not, remember where you're not, because it's going to be you're going to be able to see it. That's where I knot it. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut just a little bit above my knot, because later on we're going to go to the sink with some hot water and we're going to dip that. And that's going to secure that knot, and it's not going to come out of place. So don't worry about it. And if you have the squareways on the line, a lot of people tend to burn it. I don't, because once you dip the hair, it's going to relax itself. This is really like a plastic, so it's going to relax itself to thin out. But if you can see this particular plait, you don't see any knot on her hair. I have 13 more to go. And some of them I actually went ahead and made the start of the box braids where I wanted to start, so I have to go back, untie this, and just add the extended hair to it. Okay, here's the final steps to doing her knot-free box braid. I have trimmed the ends, and as you can see right now, they're looking kind of rough on the ends, and that comes from cutting the ends to the desired length that I wanted the braids to be. And you see how the ends are looking. And what you want to do is get your old container of some sort or a bowl and fill it up halfway, not full, but halfway. I placed my bowl on the counter, but what you want to do is place that bowl in the microwave for probably about 2 to 3 minutes. Take it out. Now, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can put it on the countertop, or you can put it inside the sink. I'm going to put it on the countertop so you can see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring her over. Make sure you have a towel or some type of cloth to dry your hair with. I'm going to see, can she lay back some? I'm going to place the braids inside of the water. She's going to stay right there for a second. This is really hot, so please be extremely careful when you're dealing with hot water. And you want to submerge those braids in there as far as possible. And I have taken the braids, and she's leaning back some. This water is very, very hot. And what I'm doing now is dipping the braids. And this is going to relax it. It's going to make it, the heat is going to relax the material. Okay. This is the last process. Do this for probably about a minute if you can. 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. Now we're going to bring that out slowly. Make sure you have a towel or some type of cloth or something on the side. The hotter the water is, the straighter your ends are going to become. Okay, this is how they're looking right now. Let's see, can we get a better shot of that? That's how our ends are looking right now. All the ones that I had the knots on, this is how it's going to come out. Just like that. Okay, so we're through with the dipping. We're going to drip some of that water off of her hair. We're going to drip some of it off. I'm going to take this old cloth that I have. Whoa, see, you have to be careful. You're going to secure the hair around it and squeeze it. Don't ball it up. Let it stay in the relaxed position that it's in. And you're going to squeeze it all the way down to the end. This is like an old cloth. And you want to do this probably for about a good minute to 2 minutes. And the reason being because this hair is so full of water now. You want to make sure that all this water drains before you allow this hair to touch someone's back and they get burnt. You don't want to get burnt. It's not a good thing. So, keep it in the relaxed state. And I am squeezing the water out. And this is how it's going to come out. So do that for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to show you. This is the hair from the side. This is our hair from the side. Okay, here's the completion of our box braids. This is one little style. I just took some hair and tied it from the side. Gotta fix that. I don't know which one it is, but I'll fix it later. Okay, and I moisturize our hair really, really good in between, as you can see. I moisturize it really, really good in between. That is the length of our hair. Can you gather all your hair together? Okay. And one thing, when you do your box braid, it's very important at nighttime to tie your hair up, and that way it will last 30 days. It will last and still look fresh if you just do some simple maintenance or upkeeps to the hair. It will last. It will last for 30 days. And if you try this method, you're going to have healthy, strong, pretty hair. I hope this has been very helpful to you. And until next time, be blessed.